everybody, welcome to the party where the knots hang. It's just a rap thing.
And we're back with episode 75 of The Sounds of Struggle.
We're 3/4 of the way to being dead. I mean, to 100.
Yeah. I would be dead.
Because most things die at 100.
I'm already perished, so...
You've perished.
Yeah, it means to die, literally.
And I used to be a doctor, and I don't have that anymore, so...
Yeah.
My life's pretty much over anyways. You're Chris Parrish.
Well, that got dark real fast. You know what also's dark? Cleveland Cavaliers playoff hopes, because they're about to drop Game 2 to the Boston Celtics, and if they don't get their shit together, they're going down the tunnel of darkness when it comes down to looking yourself in the mirror and wondering, what do we have to do to get better?
Well, it's official. Boston won 107-94.
There you go.
Down 2-0.
Yeah. So, Toronto Raptors fans, just know that since your team got swept, the team that swept you have yet to
win
a single game.
Yeah.
But still.
Also, Tampa
got their shit together.
This is going to be a team. This is going to be a game where everybody on the road wins.
Right.
Because they won 4-2 tonight.
Yeah. And they dropped the first two at home. And then they won on the road. So.
Yes. Also thrown out there that since the last podcast, congratulations to the Nashville Predators for being eliminated. You bitches.
Yeah. Way to go. And just so you guys are aware, when you guys have Game 7 at home, it's a good thing to show the fuck up for the first period.
Nope.
Usually, that's where you get to set the tone for how the game's supposed to go. Not, let's let the other team beat the living tar out of us.
On our home pond.
Yeah.
So, I guess that the average deductor could say that it's now the Golden Knights versus the Jets. And that series is tied 1-1.
Yeah.
This series could literally go either way.
I think it's going to go 7 games.
I think so too. It could easily go 7 games. I think it's going to go 9 games.
I think the Washington-Tampa game is going to go 6.
Yep.
If Tampa wins the next game, I'm saying they're going to win the series. If they don't, they're done.
Yep.
It's just there's something about Tampa that just doesn't make me believe in them. When guys like Kucherov and Stamkos and Hedman aren't producing offensively for them.
Except for tonight.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
But you can't show up in Game 3.
We also saw Steven Stamkos' first 5-on-5 point in this year's playoffs.
Yeah.
That's not good when you're supposed to be one of the top players on your team offensively, and you're, almost 18 games in, and you just got a 0.5-on-5?
Yeah.
You need to set an example, and you got to set the standard. You can't just let other people do it.
As a captain, you're expected to lead by example.
Yeah. And Kucherov, for a guy that went almost wire-to-wire on points this year, this is a good time to start getting them points.
I think he's all pointed out.
Yeah, he's pointed in the wrong direction.
Agreed. But since last series...
Actually, but you know who's not? Braden Point, who's actually having
on
a very good...
the fucking fire.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Yes. But since the last series where the Predators got eliminated, Mike Fisher officially retired again.
Yeah.
So we'll see him next year. Again.
Wrestling retirement.
And then there's 3 rumors to be coming out of the Nashville camp for possible trades. Take 3 picks.
Pekka Rinne.
Nope.
PK Subban.
Yes.
And I'm going to say... I'm going to say probably Philip Forsberg.
No. They need Forsberg.
They need Forsberg, but Forsberg can get him a good return.
So Subban, because apparently he is becoming, like he did in Montreal, a problem in the locker room with all his whining, bitching, complaining, which this year I found was really fucking bad.
Now, I want to actually talk to the players and the coaches, Because it's easy for fans to say, he's a problem in the locker room. They said that about Taylor Hall in Edmonton.
And he was.
But was he, though?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Exactly, and that's just the thing. I do think that one of the problems in Nashville is the fact that they don't have the offensive depth on their forwards. They're too defense-heavy.
Yes.
And they do have one of the best defenses in the NHL. But the loss of James Neal affected them.
Yep.
They didn't replace... That's a top-line winger that can score you 30 goals. You just need that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the Oilers had a problem with their secondary scoring when they got rid of Eberle.
Yep.
It's the same problem. You got to find that production if you're going to get rid of it.
Agreed.
And both teams didn't find that. And Nashville needs to address scoring.
But yeah, the other two guys are Emelin and Hartnell, apparently, are rumored to be on the move.
Well, Hartnell's a free agent.
Well, that explains why he'd be on the move.
So I don't think he'll be signed. I think that's just going to be it. They just won't sign
Yeah.
him. Emelin, they got him from Montreal, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He didn't play much in the playoffs, did he?
Not a ton.
So,
He did Hartnell, though. Maybe half?
well, Hartnell, I mean, you can look at him as being a depth player.
Yeah, but it's, ever since they picked up Hartman,
Yeah.
ironic, he kind of took over Hartnell's spot.
Well, I mean, you want an everyday player, and I don't think Hartnell is an everyday player. I think he's a depth guy.
Yeah.
He's like what a Matt Hendricks is to Winnipeg.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's not an everyday player, but when he's in there, he's a character guy, and you know what you're going to get because he's consistent on that end.
Yeah.
So,
Also, there are, of course, rumors coming from Toronto, because there's always rumors coming from Toronto, that Marner and Matthews may not resign. But
Well-
again, who the hell knows? Because
but at the same time, they're both RFAs.
Yeah.
They're not UFAs. Therefore, if they don't resign, somebody else can sign them. Toronto can match. They're playing for the Leafs.
yeah,
It's that simple.
which
And you know what?
you'd be stupid if you're Toronto
Babcock
to do.
went on Drager's Cafe and just shot down those rumors,
Yeah,
like, right away. So I think people are looking too much into it. Of course, this is all coming in from Toronto media, who
Yeah.
has a tendency of blowing more air in the balloon.
yes.
So, Austin Matthews is probably going to be the next captain of the Leafs.
I would not be surprised.
So, I mean,
You know, I could actually see a year of having, say, like a, I don't know, Morgan Riley. Maybe even if
I can see Mike Babcock be fired from the Leafs before I can see Austin Matthews get traded.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see a transition year of having someone, even like say Patrick Marleau, 1 year being captain, then moving it over to Marleau because he retires.
No,
I
honestly think
Matthews?
Toronto will just go a third year without a captaincy instead of giving it to Matthews. But also, guys like Matthews are entering their third year of their entry-level deal.
Mm-hmm.
So he is now official. I think it's July 1. He's officially able to sign an extension.
Which
I think when he signs that extension, he'll be presented with the C.
Yeah, which the Kyle Dubas, who is the new Leafs GM, seems like a young guy. I think the first thing is his first priority to name a captain and to sign said captain.
Well, he's not the one to name a captain. It is Mike Babcock. It is the coach's say to
So
name the captain.
what if a GM doesn't like who the captain is? Could they not change it though?
They could change the coach.
No, fair enough.
But I don't think you're going to change Mike Babcock. I don't think Mike Babcock's the problem. I think, just like the Oilers' problem, I think maturity is one of the big factors here. You got to let the Maple Leafs grow. They actually are in a better situation than the Oilers.
Yeah.
In the sense of they made the playoffs 2 straight years. They need to look at, okay, are we going to re-sign Van Riemsdyk? Are we going to make true additions to the roster? Are we going to get veteran presence here? They should know, look, we got a couple 19, 20-year-old kids on our team. We can't expect them to be the best guys in the league. Yes, they're going to be great players, but they have to be patient still with them. It's still like the Oilers with the Draisaitl's, the McDavids, the Pugliarvis, and then you see that with other players like, say, New Jersey with Nico Herscher.
Yeah.
You just see it like everywhere. You got to let these guys just play and develop. They're still in development phases. And at the end of the day, look, these guys are going to be loyal to your team. Just be loyal and be patient. Back. And then you'll be fine.
Fair enough. Rod Brindamore is named new head coach of the Hurricanes.
Yeah. So, to get rid of a couple ex-players and their staff, only to select another ex-player.
Yep. And the Hurricanes have gone on record saying everyone is available for trade except who?
Ooh, on Carolina?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's one name. They're going to build this whole team around this one player.
My God, Carolina. Wow, I really don't think they should have any exceptions. But I mean, is it a defenseman?
Forward.
Huh. Yeah. Don't know. Who is it?
Sebastian Aho. He's an Aho. That kind of shocked me. You're not going to keep someone like Skinner? Skinner!
You know who wanted a guy named Skinner? The Oilers, when they drafted, and then the other day, signed goaltender Stuart Skinner! Who is leading the Swift Current Broncos to the WHL Championship.
They actually won the championship. They're going to the Memorial Cup. So that's cool. So, actually, you know what? I'm going to look up real quick who all has qualified for the Memorial Cup, because as of right now...
Well, I think Regina's the host, right?
I think so.
Because, first, let's go back to the Carolina situation, just because I like the fact that they're open for business, because a lot of changes need to be made, and this might be the best example of a team understanding you got to blow it up to start all over, but at the same time, they do have pieces there that need to be kept.
Yeah.
Also, as an Oilers fan, I hope we don't blow the farm on Justin Falk. Yes, he's he's going to be a great young defenseman, but he's still a young defenseman. And the one thing you got to realize, just because you trade for him, he's not going to be an immediate answer to all your problems right away.
Yeah.
We need defensive defensemen too, and that's a big one.
He's more offensive, if I remember correctly.
Well, he's an offensive defenseman because of necessity.
So is he more of a two-way player then, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to have.
It is. I mean, but at the same time, you still need defensemen who can defend, and I do think the Oilers need more of that.
Yes.
Because we have forwards on our team who tend to roam. But when it comes to Carolina, if they're able to, trade for draft picks and use that for the future, but then sign some really good players to still, keep, they can't afford to be top 10 draft for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to have to do something. They're the only team who has a history like the Oilers in the last decade.
Yeah.
They've had one playoff appearance in the last 10 years, and that came quicker after the 2004.
They actually did quite well and made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
But then nothing since.
And that's alarming, and that's not good for a franchise that's not doing well already.
No.
So.
Yeah, I agree to that. They're in dire trouble. If they don't turn things around, I can see them leaving Carolina for sure.
But also, and then now we kind of go back to Stuart Skinner. Man, that guy had a solid WHL playoffs.
Yes.
I mean, he beat, Carter Hart in the final?
Yep.
Who, they said those are the two best goalies in the WHL.
Yep.
So he beat Carter Hart. He also beat his former team in the Lethbridge Hurricanes in the third round, I believe. They beat the Regina Pats in the second round.
Who are hosting.
Yeah. So that was a tough team. So they're going to have to go through that team again in the Memorial Cup.
The Regina St. Pat's, the Hamilton Bulldogs, which is still weird to me because it's an AHL. I've always known them as AHL.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, the Acadia Bathurst Titan from the QMJHL, and, of course, Swift Current Broncos.
Yeah.
Early predictions. Who are we saying?
Swift Current.
You think it's Swift Current?
I do. I think it all starts with good goaltending, and I think Stuart Skinner is literally the best goalie there. And what makes me happy is that the Oilers actually have a great goalie prospect in their system.
Fair enough.
They were quick to sign him a day after the WHL championship. And this is a great sign for Oiler fans because they look at their goalie issues. But Cam Talbot's going to have a bounce back year. In about 4 or 5 years, Stuart Skinner will be your starting goalie, and you will forget about any other goalie in your past because he is going to be a great goalie.
You heard it here first. Give or take 5 years.
I mean, obviously they'll remember their goalies because, let's face it, Oilers always remember nostalgia. But Stuart Skinner
Happy
is going to be...
Bullen's the best.
Yeah. Oh, that number 80, Bruce Galov, awesome.
Yeah. It's just game. Why is so mad?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm predicting Swift Current versus Acadia Bathurst final with Swift Current going over. Don't know why. I have no reason to believe that. I haven't watched any of the playoffs.
I'm going to go Hamilton and Swift Current in the final.
I haven't watched any playoffs. I haven't looked at anything at all playoff-wise for any of the junior teams. That's my guess. Anyways, moving on to the Humboldt Broncos. They're actually going to fill the team next year.
Yep.
Good for them. That's awesome.
I think it's important.
Absolutely.
Not only that, you can't... There's still a community that needs something to rally behind.
Yep.
And right now, it is that hockey team. Yes, you got to always remember about the tragedy that happened there. But at the same time, knowing that that team is also capable of lifting your spirits and being that team to help you just become more positive. Yeah, that's a beautiful way of irony.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing that is great for the community because small communities like that need those things. So the never give up and the never say die attitude is a good thing.
I agree. And my last point of hockey, it's also my Meniac Award of Excellence winner this week. Alex Lyons, who is the goalie for the AHL Lehigh Valley Phantoms, stopped 94 shots through 5 overtime periods. That's fucking insane. And they ended up going on to beat the Charlotte Checkers.
It was 8 periods?
8 periods.
I only had 94 shots?
The other guy only had 53, so clearly he won the game for the team. 94 shots, and he won. That's not very good defense. That's Alex Lyons getting it done.
It all depends on those kind of shots, too, because I'm sure there's a lot of easy saves in that one.
Well, you never know.
Like, I didn't watch the game, but I'm too. So you had, an average of, what was it? Like, almost 10 and a half shots a period?
Roughly.
Just under?
Yeah. But, I mean, the play is predominantly in their end the whole time, because the other goal only faced 53, and they lost.
I think you'll also have to look at how bad your offense is, too.
Oh, yeah, their offense was not clicked. Alex Lyons won them that game. And the series, I think.
I mean, what was the final score? Like 3-1? 3-2,
I think it was 3-2, yeah. That I did not write down. I was just too amazed by 94 shots.
Because if it was like a 2-1 or 1-0 game, again, that goes to my thing. Like, your offense sucks.
Yeah, it was not high scoring. I know that. Also, the crazy part, he's not even a record holder for that. For I think amount of time, like total in the game, yes. But for shots faced, the record for AHL is 98. That's crazy.
I still think like 10 shots a period. Like, that's pretty average.
Well, that's pretty average, but I mean, the other team, the winning team only got 53 shots.
I know
that's not good. That's bad.
That's to me is like,
that means that the goalie of your winning team was the reason you won.
But I mean, think an average game has 33 or maybe 30, 35 shots.
I'd say an average game will have 30 to 28 shots usually. Like one team 30, the other team 28.
But like just a normal team, an average game, 30 shots?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, so that's 10 shots period. So you have 8 periods, you're looking at least 80 on average.
They had 94, so they had just over average.
So,
yeah.
I mean...
Good for them.
I mean, it's not like overwhelming, but I mean, good.
But 8 periods.
Good for Lions, though. For
I'll say it wasn't 8 full periods, obviously, but it was like I think at least 7.5.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of
So
time
impressive.
to be in that. Very impressive.
But to me, the alarming thing is the rest of your team.
Yeah, the alarming thing is people in front of you. That's brutal.
I mean, your goalie did what he had to do.
No one fucking else did.
I wonder if somebody had like one of those highlight videos of just the shots that he faced.
At that point, just shot after shot.
Well, I know, but then
94 little
but then
clips.
you at least can get to see like where the shots came from, the situation. And
Well, they normally have that little thing of like the offensive end. You can see all the shots. You see like the it's like blacked out. 94 shots, just all over the place, blacked out. Can't see the ice. Hilarious. Moving on. So, get a little into baseball.
What about baseball?
Do you think that Guerrero should be called up? I mean, he's killing it down the minors. And the Jays, not killing it.
You know what? You can look at it both ways. Is he going to be the solution to your problems? No, I don't think he's going to be necessarily the only solution. I think your biggest problem on the Jays is your pitching and the consistency of your pitching.
Yeah, the pitching's terrible.
But at the same time, you gotta I think you give the kid the opportunity at some point. I think you at least call him up closer to the All-Star game. Maybe let the kid enjoy like half season. See if he gets to play an All-Star game. Let him enjoy that. But I don't know, like, because you can, but at the same time, if you bring him up to a team that's just going to lose, I mean, what is that going to do for him long term?
No, that's true.
But if you let him kind of kill it and have that kind of swagger, bring him in next year, he could be the new kid on block, it might be better for him to be patient.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I don't think it's a wrong thing to give him a taste.
I'd say after the All-Star break for both the minor and the major league, and then just bring him up for a bit, see what he can do.
But also, it's not like Toronto's completely out of it already. I mean,
No.
they're still average.
No, it's true, but I mean, who knows where they'll be at by that point.
But I do think the problem with Toronto is their pitching.
You mean like Osuna being arrested for assault charges?
Well, that doesn't help.
So he's off indefinitely.
But also, guys like they got to get rid of that Biagini guy. He's clearly not a starter. You can say, "Oh, put him back to reliever." Yeah, you can, but at the same time, where do you think his mental capacity is going to be, knowing that he couldn't cut it as a starter? He went back to the reliever. I mean, he could be one of those guys that like understands it, accepts it, and then does well. But I mean, that's not what you want him as clearly. So, I mean, just cut your loss and move on. And I think that's something they got to do. I mean, it's baseball. You're gonna find somebody else.
Oh yeah, there's a plethora of players who will play. The Indians traded the infielder Giovanni Urshela to the Jays in exchange for a player to be named later or a cash consideration. What's your thought on this? Do you know who this guy is?
No, I don't watch baseball that much.
Okay, well that answers that. How about Robinson Cano for being suspended for 80 games for a drug violation?
Yeah.
A diuretic drug violation.
Yeah, we talked about that a little earlier. I don't know, we both don't know enough about the situation to know how it's relevant to baseball.
I say, because honestly, by any means, by my account of what I know about diuretics, it doesn't make sense that he got suspended because a diuretic won't help him in any way. But, that being said, you brought up the point that it could be part of baseball's drug and wellness policy that particular whatever he took was banned. And if that's the case, well then yeah, he deserves
Does this diuretic help your ability to recoup faster or anything like that?
No, diuretic basically just makes you get water out of your system. That's it. Makes you sweat, piss, way more.
But in a way, it does kind of alter your diet.
Yeah, it could. So if he's off because he's got a broken finger right now and he wants to get back into shape, maybe.
I do think baseball needs to look at stuff like this more. I think a lot of sports actually do. MMA being a big one.
They need to cut ties with USADA. That's what they need to do.
But I mean, at the same time, that's a different ball game entirely. Pun was intended. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, we'll have to at least look further into the situation to really clarify if it was.
Yeah.
Or I don't know enough about baseball's wellness policy to comment on that.
To be completely honest, neither one of us are going to look into it. Let's be real.
Do we not even want to see just some of the best guys on roids do a home run derby?
I want to be back at the time where it was like, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, all those guys, Sammy Sosa,
Rafael Palmeiro,
just hitting dingers. That's all I want. Dingers!
I mean, Rick Flair said it best. You can take a steroid. It's not going to make you run faster. You still have to put in the work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just going to stimulate growth or prevent you from. It's like Brock Lesnar for getting suspended for taking an estrogen blocker, because God forbid if an alpha male doesn't want estrogen in his system, come a fight time.
Yeah, but I mean, really, regardless of whether it helps you heal faster or makes you stronger, you still have to, as you said, put that work in to get stronger. You can't just take it to a steroid and then not work out. It's not going to do anything.
I see a lot of muscle guys who are probably on the juice and not know how to fucking turn their head when they see a chick that they're going to be inappropriate around.
Exactly. Break the damn neck. Right. Well, what's left of it. Got a couple things left here before we get into the wrestling. Wayne Rooney! He's now joined DC United. He's come over from Europe to America for soccer, which clearly means the only soccer player that I know is winding down his career.
Yeah.
But he got $16.2 million, so good for him.
And
He'll play for probably 2 years, and that'll be it. But, I mean, good for him. Seems to be... This is the retirement league. Major league retirement.
Well, I mean, clearly just needed that so he can enter the American realm of entertainment and become a star in the American world.
Probably is. Just like, what's his face? Pretty
David
boy
Beckham.
with the bitch. Yeah. Pretty boy with the bitch mouth.
Posh Spice.
Yes, that's what I said.
Victoria Beckham.
Yes. Dwayne Casey was the coach of the Raptors. Coach of the Year nominee.
He won.
He won.
Yeah.
He just got fired.
Yeah, I know.
The coach of the year just got fired.
Oh, I know.
Because his team couldn't show up against LeBron James.
I was talking to this.
What the fuck is that?
I think this just shows you the problems that this franchise had, because I look as a coach. He was the coach of the year. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Sometimes that might be the best that coach ever was. But also, maybe it was a team that made him look better, too.
Yeah.
The GM should know his organization better than anybody else.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he knows something.
Maybe.
And maybe a different thing. Maybe he believes in his players enough to know, you know what? We need a change of voice. But with that being said, if the Toronto Raptors do not have a successful playoffs next year, you got to take a serious look at the DeMarco DeRozans, the Kyle Lowrys of your team, and understand these two players playing together on this team may not be the best thing for your team moving forward.
Exactly. If you have one guy, not the team, not the Cavaliers. I mean, it was literally LeBron James that beat you.
You also had Ibaka not show up and not play to what you expected him to play in this playoffs. You had letdowns. You also had a bunch of expectations not set based on your players. At some point, your players need to take accountability and be held responsible for their failures. It can't just be thrown on one coach just because that's the easy way out.
Yep. I just think it's funny that they played. I don't even know if you can blame the coach. They played terrible in that second round, and they deserved that 4-game sweep.
At the same time, they didn't have good strategies going against Cleveland all year. They had a bad record against Cleveland that year. They kept that going in the playoffs. At some point, you're going to have to change the way you play. That also is not on the players. That strategies aren't made by the players; it's made by the coaching staff.
That's true.
So perhaps that was taken in consideration. I don't know. I'm not a part of it.
Nor do we really care that much. It's just kind of funny the coach of the year got fired.
I'm way too white to be in terms of basketball strategies. But with that being said, change had to happen. I mean,
You're not white. You're the blackest guy I know. I don't know any black guys.
Oh, there is a black Craig Martin. Just going to put that up.
He was a hockey player for the Winnipeg Jets, ironically.
Yeah.
There it is.
Detroit Red Wings.
There we go. Also, Darren Durant retired after 12 years of playing in the CFL.
Now, who was he with? Winnipeg, right?
He was with Winnipeg. He played many, many years in Saskatchewan. I think he played somewhere else, too.
Yeah, he played a lot of places.
I want to say he played BC for a year or two.
Probably. With that said, it's funny because who's going to be Winnipeg's quarterback? Is it Lule still?
Probably.
I don't know.
I think so. No, Lule.
Or is Lule in BC?
I think Lule's BC.
Yeah.
I think they traded Lule for Durant.
No, because they got Durant from Saskatchewan.
Did they? I don't know. I don't know. Point is, I'm excited. The CFL season starting up end of this month. It's going to be good.
I know you are.
We're going to be there.
You're one of the few guys I know that actually.
It's a good time.
CFL.
It's a good time.
It's not bad.
I think if I was honestly just watching the games, I wouldn't appreciate it as much. The fact I get, I'm a season seat holder, I
I'm
get to
just
go.
going to say I'd be
that's really
happier
fun.
if I had an NFL team over at CFL in town.
Yes, we know, because you
But
like that football more.
I do enjoy my American football better.
Also, MMA, did you hear that Bellator is looking to host Rampage Jackson versus 50 Cent fight?
Yes.
Why? Who the fuck will care about that?
Okay, but let me retort that, even though I do not care about that fight at all. Why the fuck would you care about CM Punk fighting in the UFC if you don't care about CM Punk to begin with?
Well, fair enough. All right, you do have a point. But do you really think 50 Cent fans are going to want to watch him fight? Don't you think they just want him to rap? At least wrestling's a little bit closer.
Does anybody want 50 Cent to rap?
No. I mean, I don't. But I don't really care about rap music, so... this is one fight. I mean, you can argue that wrestling to MMA, it's been done before both ways, so it's like it can be done. But rapping to MMA, that just seems wrong. It just, I don't know.
Maybe he'll bust a tune while he's getting his...
Bust a move and bust his asshole
Yeah,
open.
maybe he'll...
Bust a rhyme?
He'll bust a rhyme when someone tunes his noggin.
Yeah. Come out with his best album going, fuck, I shouldn't have done it. All I got now is some wrestling stuff. Do you want to do some advertising or do you want to do some wrestling?
Oh, let's see what else happened. I'm trying to think about anything else cool that happened.
Anything happened for the NFL for your team?
Well, your team,
My team!
the Green Bay Packers,
Packer Nation!
the team that former tight end Jason Witten of the Dallas Cowboys believes Des Bryant will join.
Well, that's good news.
So, also with the NFL, the rookie camps are going in, and it looks like my team is actually very happy with a lot of the rookies, even though they were very much criticized for their Marcus Davenport selection when they made the trade with your Green Bay Packers to select him.
Packer
They also
Nation.
released Adam Bighill, who was not only a fan favorite, but a former CFL player who played...
Bighill?
Yeah, Adam Bighill.
Did he play on Small Hills?
I think he played on the BC Lions before he joined.
That's Small Hills.
Or
Grassy Knolls.
So, and they also let go of who was the other former CFL player? He was a cornerback with their team. Played for Hamilton. Don't really remember, but top of my head, I was just happy when I heard that he's no longer there.
Sure.
But yeah. So I don't know. That's it. I'm getting very excited for the NFL season. That means fantasy football is very close.
Hooray.
We all know that I'm a fantasy football guy. I like
fantasy football aficionado.
I'm a little bit far right.
You're struggle-ish like that, I'll give you that.
I like to tip my head into excellence once in a while.
Tag 2 struggles for the win.
I like to tag 2 convert because, pussies go for 1.
Yeah, the Rouge.
See? Boom!
You're the worst. So, real quick, Backbreaker Media on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Podcast Player. Anything else you can get your stuff on, fuck YouTube, it's on there, but fuck it. Backbreaker Media, backbreakervod.pivotshare.com. Sign up with your boys Tag Struggle. That's a code. Tag Struggle, all capitals, no 3, it's just an E. And you get 3 months half off after you use 2 weeks for free. And then whatamaneuver.net. Parrish, tell them about whatamaneuver.net.
Yeah, you can get all of your original The Struggle gear, because before we became Tag Struggle, we were The Struggle. And
the struggle was real.
And the struggle is real. And then if, in case you want to go a little bit more old school, you can also get any, whether it's a t-shirt, a hoodie, a baby onesie, a tank top, maybe a female tank top.
Maybe a female. Just straight up buy a female.
Yeah. But you can go a little retro. In fact, you can get your retro WE. Yeah, that's it. Retro OWE. We call retro WE gear. And enjoy the past, which was the One World Empire.
Indeed. Also, just throwing it there, just got the final score of the Blue Jays game.
Yeah.
They lost 12-2 to the New York Mets.
It was 1-0 in the bottom of the third last time
Yeah, things got out of control quickly.
Let me guess, their pitching did nothing.
No, they did. They did something. They sucked.
Yeah, so.
There we go.
That's the thing. We go back to the Guerrero. Is Guerrero going to get you 10 RBIs every game?
Sure.
No. Nobody's going to get you 10 RBIs every game.
That's
if they
not
were.
true.
So,
Joe Carter could do it.
You know what? Actually, one thing I want to say. MLB, the show, that video game that you have.
I don't have it.
No, you don't have it, but they have
okay.
a video game called The Show. It's only for PlayStation. How about you get your shit together and put it for other consoles too? Because there's absolutely no cool MLB games for the Xbox. Just saying.
It's probably because the Xbox is the inferior device. Just throwing that out there.
No.
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of good games. Also, they're pretty much the same.
They really are. Just one's Microsoft, one's Sony.
Yeah.
That's it. Just shows to show you Sony's better than Microsoft.
And Microsoft gets technology. That Bill Gates guy kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but Sony's just 5 years ahead of everything Microsoft does.
Until they get bought up by Bill Gates.
That's not gonna. If that happens, that would be big fucking news. Imagine that, the PlayStation box or the X Station.
Break it down.
Exactly. Okay, so whoa.
Speaking of breaking it down,
Let's break it down.
we're gonna go to wrestling.
We're going on to wrestling.
29 minutes and 40-some seconds. You know what happens in that amount of time?
What?
Well, you can do a lot of things. I can have a really good shower in that time.
That's a good shower.
It's a really good shower.
That's a long shower where you think long and hard about your
I
entire
can
life.
watch an episode of The Simpsons.
You can watch an episode and a half of The Simpsons.
I can watch, 1/6 of Monday Night Raw.
If you're lucky.
But you know what Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks can do in 29 minutes and 40 seconds?
They can sell out all in.
Exactly. And in that 29 minutes and 40-some seconds, they will also sell all those tickets, those 10,000 seats. They'll also announce Rey fucking Mysterio is going to be at the show.
I'm really kind of starting to regret the fact I'm getting married on the 15th. I really wish we chose October. That way, I don't know, I could go.
Well, September 1.
That's too close.
Which, still, by the way, still the same day that Daniel Bryan's WWE contract comes to an end.
True. Also, there's a lot of rumors that, I think we talked about it before, CM Punk's doing a signing at Pro Wrestling Tees store on the 31st. Just throwing that out there. His next fight, which potentially could be his last, is in June in Chicago for UFC against a journalist turned fighter.
But with that being said, does he deserve a big name?
No,
Exactly.
He doesn't even deserve to be on the main card. I don't know why he is.
Which he flat out said if it was up to him, he'd be the first fight of the night, not on the main card.
But hey, you know what? If he makes the money, good for him. All I'm saying is, I would not be shocked if this was his last MMA fight, and then suddenly, All In boom, there he is.
Well, something tells me that if his MMA fight doesn't go well, if his next UFC fight is a shit show, just like the first one, he's going to rethink it. Now, does he need to do MMA? Does he need to do wrestling after that? No, he's fine. He is completely well off to the fact he doesn't have to do anything ever again. Now, I personally believe he is going to be way too competitive to not. He doesn't want to sit at home and do nothing.
No.
So, I do think he's going to want to do something.
Plus, he's doing a lot of stuff with Marvel. He's like a writer for Thor and comic books and stuff.
No, he's a writer for Drax.
That too.
Like
he's done both.
That's literally the most ironic thing with how he was good friends with Batista, and now he writes for the same character that Batista is known for.
Kind of funny.
It's irony.
Irony at its finest, I hope.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Rich Swann is officially signed with Impact Wrestling.
Good for him. I am still surprised WWE let him go that quickly.
Well, any allegations of domestic violence or adult kidnapping or whatever else he got blamed for, regardless of how fraudulent they turned it to be from his supposed wife who said this, which sounds like a terrible wife.
Yeah, but he didn't get fired for that. He got suspended. Then he asked for his release.
I think to deal with whatever.
I think a lot of that he was contemplating retirement.
He definitely was.
And then that had something to do with it. But if I was a WWE, I would want him back. If he was innocent, why wouldn't you want him back? Because had he been innocent and this was a non-issue, do you think they would have just let him go?
Yeah, at the time, with everything going on, if they're not 100% sure that he's innocent, maybe just better to cut ties. I don't know. I think that they missed the mark. I think they should have had him as a Cruiserweight champion longer than what they did. The flash in the pan Cruiserweight champion.
Well, he was Cruiserweight champion for, what, 3 months?
I don't even think he was that long.
I think he was for a bit.
I feel like he should have had a longer run with it. A good 6 months to a year would have been good.
Who ended up beating him, Neville?
Neville.
Yeah.
The other one who was surprised at all.
Yeah, but you know what? The guy that beat him was the guy.
That is true. It's very true. Also moving on, apparently there are several conflicting things, and because everyone's talking about it, we might as well get it out of the way. Apparently Cena and Carmella are possibly a thing, but at the same time, apparently Cena and Nikki are actually together, and they're just doing this whole thing as a ruse. I don't know, nor do I care.
See, I don't buy the Cena Carmella thing at all.
No, do I.
I do.
But he was seen in Tampa, and she lives there. Why else would he be there? It's not like half the roster fucking lives there.
Don't you mean the other way around? She was seen there, he lives there?
I don't know. One of them lives there. I don't know.
Yeah.
They all, but half the roster from both live there, so it's like there's a bunch they know.
In all honesty, though, how you have a guy who gets heartbroken going out of a relationship, and he's just gonna jump into a relationship right off the bat and go swimming in the same pool that he was swimming in for 5 years?
Yeah.
Of all people, you think John Cena is that fucking dumb?
He can get whoever he wants. He can get me. You know what? He can have me. I'm even insecure enough, he can share me.
He can't see me. But no, I mean, I think that was just, I don't know how it got started.
Oh, who knows?
It's stupid.
It's stupid!
He even went on the Today Show and said that he has completely gone back on a lot of the things he said.
Especially how selfish he was about children.
And he said
that's big.
He said he wants to have a family with her. And he wants to. He said there's clearly things that she wants to do. And that he doesn't know if he's the right person right now in her life. He doesn't know if he's the right decision for her instead of that. So it's a relationship, people. They're fucked up. They're dumb at times. But at the end of
they're hard. Even the easy ones are hard.
But at the end of the day, who fucking cares? It's their personal life. Let them be.
Exactly.
Deal with it. It's not yours. You're not fucking Nikki. You're not fucking John. Deal with it.
And if you are, kudos.
5 moves of get the fuck on.
And doom.
Yeah.
Also, so a couple injuries to report. Let's see. Charlotte blew a titty and a tooth. Or two.
Yeah. She got those fixed, though.
Oh,
the teeth.
yeah.
The titty, I don't know.
Woods bit off a piece of his tongue, apparently.
Well,
Got some stitches in the tongue.
Yeah.
And rumored Jeff Hardy actually hurt his back in a dark match.
Oh, probably.
Like yesterday or the day before.
Jeff Hardy getting hurt. That's new.
That is new, right? Apparently he was during an entrance he hurt himself and was limping badly, according to the European crowd.
Oh, yeah, because if the Europeans believe it, it's definitely a real thing.
Not sure what that's in reference to, but okay!
Just saying, the Europeans also, a lot of them thought they won all the wars. They didn't.
That's true. That's all I have for... did you watch NXT from last week? I just watched it this morning, and it was really good.
I didn't, but I still want to just say how funny it was Pete Dunne throwing a shoe at Adam Cole.
Very funny. I think it's hilarious that he actually had a promo with both Birch and Lorcan.
Yeah.
And they went and they did all the talking, and all he did was nod. It was hilarious. It was like a promo, you know, like back in the day when you got promo time, and then I'd come in and be like, yeah! Very much like that. Hilarious.
What I'm well, and we also saw the confirmation that it's going to be Aleister Black against Lars Sullivan for the NXT title.
Don't really care about that. It's just Lars Sullivan. I don't know.
No,
big monster guy, but I
you have to think there's something more to it.
Yeah,
I do.
That's the same with like
it's NXT. They always have something.
There's always I'll give them that. They always have something. That's the same though with how Nia Jax yesterday challenged
Ronda Rousey.
That's the bitch. Why
yeah,
though?
But somebody pointed out a very good theory though. Okay, you're not going to have Ronda Rousey for a second straight pay-per-view not wrestle. You can't put her in the ladder match; she'll get hurt.
True.
You're not gonna. Outside of that, who else on the card is she gonna be with? You're not gonna have that many female wrestlers matches on the card, right?
Do we think that she actually wins and then someone wins the title and immediately cashes in?
No, because I think you're just totally blowing your load way too quick.
I agree.
Because the payoff for Ronda Rousey winning is definitely a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I agree.
That's your payoff. I
don't know, because they did it with Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam and immediately took it away for 6 months.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The payoff was WrestleMania 30, him actually fighting off the Authority, coming through all the odds, and the big payoff was him hosting at the end, raising the titles, being the champion, having that moment of being the guy at the end of the biggest show on the 30th annual of WrestleMania.
Fair enough.
So that was your payoff. It was just a transition of stories. It was a turning point at SummerSlam. With Ronda Rousey, I think, too, like, you're going on a ride with her developing, obviously, into her own as a worker. What makes no sense to me is that Kurt Angle is 100% okay with Ronda Rousey, who's had 0 singles matches in WWE getting a title shot, but a team like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas can't have a tag title shot because they've had too many losses.
The B team, by the way, love that name.
Yeah. But with that being said, Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey isn't a bad match to have because you actually allow not only your women's title on the show, but you have Ronda Rousey on the show, so that's a selling point right there. You're having a big name like Rousey. Not to mention, Money in the Bank is comprised of 4 women from SmackDown, 4 women from Raw. There could very well be more to this match than we're seeing. One of those options could very well, in my opinion, be somebody like Natalya, who they have used on past episodes of Monday Night Raw, of saying, oh, she helps train Ronda Rousey. She's helping her get her feet wet here in the WWE. Well, clearly they like having Natalya work with the new girls. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if Natalya cost Ronda Rousey the match and you set up a SummerSlam match between Natalya and Ronda Rousey. Or you use this as a way for I don't know, a Charlotte to come over to Raw and grab the title. And then she did something that Ronda Rousey couldn't do. And that's beat Nia Jax on Money in the Bank for the title.
Fair enough.
So maybe, just maybe, this is a setup to something bigger moving on.
That'd be sweet. Also, point out something really weird. I mentioned Danny Bryan earlier. How he actually joined the Wyatt family for a little bit, then turned, and he went on to beat Dave Bautista and Randy Orton. A couple years later, Randy Orton does the same thing. Joins the Wyatt family, only to turn on them, win the title. Kind of ironic when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's almost like they recycled that. Anyways.
Well, if you want to really recycle, how sad is it that they want to recycle the Daniel Bryan babyface run with Roman Reigns?
Well, that's not working.
No, definitely not working. Also, do you think there's any collusion to the fact that Authors of Pain haven't been seen on Raw for a little bit? Is there something bigger to that than we think?
Maybe. I just figured they got the old NXT treatment. They're big on NXT. They come up and we're not doing shit with you. Goodbye.
Well, yeah, but you also look at what they are. They're a big, brute tag team. Vince McMahon loves his big, brute wrestlers.
True.
He also is not a big... History shown he's not a big tag team guy. But when it comes down to it, he likes his big, brute guys. Authors of Pain fit that mold. But maybe, just maybe, I think they're going to be used for something bigger, long term. Because we look at the tag team scene right now. It's very weak on Raw.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Authors of Pain, 3 months' time, are either on the verge of becoming tag champs or already tag champs of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in May right now. That's June, July, August. Up until SummerSlam, we're going to have some answers of what the direction of that's going to be.
Yeah. Word.
Also, I wanted to mention, who is your pick to beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title?
Whoever wins Money in the Bank.
Do you... See, here's something that I am going to throw out. Already qualified for Money in the Bank. We have Miz.
Uh-huh.
We have Rusev.
Uh-huh.
We have Finn Balor.
Yep.
We have Kevin Owens.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's really funny, actually. We have Braun Strowman, who beat Kevin Owens. I'm trying to remember the sixth. We also have one of the members of New Day.
Yeah, we don't know who yet, but one of the members.
We also have one of Big Cass or Samoa Joe, 'cause that's the final SmackDown qualifier match.
Yeah.
And who's the eighth guy that I'm missing?
I don't know.
Well, because, okay, who did we say from Raw? We have Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman,
Yeah,
Finn Balor, and,
Is Rusev on right now?
no, Russo's on SmackDown.
Okay.
Bobby Roode.
Ah, yes.
Bobby Roode. One of those 8 men are going to be the Money in the Bank. I'm going to scratch out Bobby Roode right away. I'm going to scratch out Finn Balor right away.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's way too obvious that Braun Strowman gets it. This is one time where you can have him lose a match and it doesn't hurt him at all.
Yeah. I think honestly Kevin Owens can get it.
I think you can see a lot from the Miz being a Money in the Bank guy again on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But with that being said, does whoever win Money in the Bank, are they going to be loyal to their brand or do they cross over?
I don't know. My theory was...
Because what happens if Samoa Joe wins it and comes back to Raw?
So my thing was, what happens if, say, it's Braun versus Brock at SummerSlam? A big Titan match. Braun and Brock beating the hell out of each other. They ended up both going down, then kind of like WrestleMania a few years ago. Money in the Bank champion, whoever it may be, runs out, cashes in, pins Brock, or Braun, whoever. Probably Brock, because he'll probably leave for a while after. And then it's Braun chasing whoever they just cashed in and won.
No. What if... I honestly think right now, the guy to take the title off Brock Lesnar is Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Because what Seth Rollins is doing right now with the Intercontinental title is just as comparable as what Miz did with the title.
Yeah.
But then you flip it for a babyface side. You're making it as... He's doing the same thing as what John Cena did for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
On top of that, he is the most over babyface on Raw.
Yeah.
You put him in that situation where he could be not only the guy, and plus he makes the most sense from a storyline aspect. He is outspoken and saying and talking about how he wants modern day guys who are on the roster to be featured. He said that for the video game.
So are you saying that he loses the title and goes for the Universal?
What happens if on SummerSlam he does the
champion versus champion?
It's champion, exactly. Intercontinental against WWE. He's done United States
and
WWE. He's one. Imagine Seth Rollins having this feather in the cap of being the first guy to be both WWE champ and United States champ simultaneously, and then also being the first guy to hold the Intercontinental and Universal titles simultaneously.
That's true. It has not been done since...
Ever.
No?
Nobody has held the Intercontinental and Universal titles.
Oh, not Universal, no. I'm thinking WWE was...
No, the last time was probably Ultimate Warrior.
That's what I was thinking, Ultimate Warrior for the WWE title.
But...
And, yeah.
Nobody ever held the WWE title and the US title at the same time.
It's true.
So these are just feather in the caps. Also, this allows Seth Rollins to be just plummeted in that number one spot.
Launched.
And then another guy that I think is going to be positioned up there very soon, Drew McIntyre.
You think he'll lead the tag team?
I don't think necessarily he'll lead the tag team, but imagine if guys like Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are the two guys that take those two titles away from Seth Rollins. And that somehow sets them as, oh, now Dolph Ziggler's the Intercontinental Champion and Drew McIntyre's the Universal Champion.
Could even do a match like they did way back in, was it like 99, 2000, whatever it was, when Kurt Angle was the European and Intercontinental Champion, defended them both.
The Eurocontinental?
Yep, and defended them in like a two match.
It was 2 out of 3 falls. It's a triple threat between him, Jericho, and Benoit. First fall was for the Intercontinental title, won by Benoit. Second fall for the European title, won by Jericho. Kurt Angle didn't get pinned for either one.
Exactly.
So, very much so. Or you could see a match, if hypothetically... Well, I mean, always remember the tag team title match between, Owen the Bulldog and Shawn Michaels and Diesel, where you had 3 titles on the line, as the tag team titles were defended by the champions Owen and the Bulldog going up against the Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels and the WWE Champion Diesel.
Yeah.
And then whoever lost the fall, they would lose their title, whereas the tag team would lose both titles. And then if Shawn Michaels would pin, he would just lose the Intercontinental. Diesel would lose the WWE title.
Did they win
They ended up winning the tag titles and had all 4 titles when it came to actual individual title belts.
Yeah. We could do something like that. That would be something different that hasn't been done in a long time. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at the way that they're developing and shaping the roster on Raw. I think you're about to see an actual wave of change. Because you look at not only the guys that are in the Money in the Bank, but the guys that were in qualifying matches, very different.
Uh-huh.
When you have guys like Braun Strowman against Kevin Owens, you had Roman Reigns against Sami Zayn and Finn Balor.
And Roman Reigns doesn't win.
Yeah, and actually he didn't take the fall actually, but
still didn't win.
But then you had Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, Elias, Bobby Lashley. Like, a multitude of these new stars.
It sounds like it's going to be a Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns going forward.
Yeah, and that's why I think Samoa Joe beats Big Cass next week, because I do believe you're going to have Daniel Bryan against Big Cass at Money in the Bank.
Okay.
So, and I do think Daniel Bryan somehow is going to cost Big Cass that match.
Maybe.
So.
I mean, it's Tuesday, so, I mean, it'll be out there now, and,
Well, no, because SmackDown, that is actually next week, the Big Cass Samoa Joe match. That was announced on tonight's episode of SmackDown for next week.
Spoiler alerts, there we go.
Along with Billie Kay and Lana.
Don't care.
For the women's qualifier.
Don't care.
But, who Becky Lynch, from what I heard, had qualified.
Yeah, her and Bailey qualified, which means Alexa Bliss, who I think she could actually...
She did qualify.
She did?
Yeah.
Okay.
She, actually, no, Bailey didn't qualify because Alexa Bliss pinned Bailey to qualify.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a picture of her on it, but okay.
So, right now, we have 4 actual people in the Money in the Bank for the females. You have Charlotte and Becky Lynch on SmackDown. And then you have Alexa Bliss. Mandy Rose is actually in it as well, I believe.
Sure.
Because she beat Becky Lynch last week.
So, Becky and Mandy are in?
I believe so. So
Okay.
there's, I think...
I really haven't watched SmackDown.
And then Ember Moon is already
Yes.
in there as well.
I haven't watched in a while, so I don't know who's in. I really should. I'm watching NXT. That's been all I've been watching lately.
Something tells me Sasha Banks is going to be in the match.
Probably.
So that'll be a 6th. Asuka and Carmella was announced for Money in the Bank.
Oh, like for just a match?
For the match, for the SmackDown title. So, yeah, there's possibilities there for...
Do you think Asuka finally wins?
You know what? No.
That kind of just made her the jobber now.
I don't
This is one match now.
I don't think she wins the title. She might win the match, though. You know what? That match makes a lot of sense for Carmella to get counted out at.
Makes sense.
Or to take disqualification or something like that. We also saw Shinsuke and AJ on SmackDown. The winner picks their stipulation for Money in the Bank.
That's cool.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't mind a solid 2 out of 3 falls match between those two.
All holds barred.
Even a ladder match I wouldn't be against. But I think a last man standing match makes sense.
Dildo on a pole match.
Rochambeau.
Yeah.
The
ultimate X for the cup hang in the middle match. It's an actual cup. It protects your dick. Hooray.
I was always wondering if we were going to see that angle actually played in their feud. Because I remember
Ultimate
when...
X?
No, I remember when Chyna actually always would low blow people. She went to low blow Road Dogg, hurt her hand, and Road Dogg pulled out a supportive cup.
Yeah.
It just seems like it would make sense between the Shinsuke and AJ Styles.
It'd be even funnier if like AJ Styles drops his pants and wearing a chastity belt. That'd be funny as shit.
It'd be a little weird.
It'd be awesome.
But, you know, you don't want none.
You don't want none.
So, but yeah. So, I think that's probably it.
Yeah, we got a movie to watch.
We do.
Infinity Wars!
Woo! Let's go, Batman.
Yeah. Turns out, the Calendar Man did it.
Sherlock Holmes is in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, so that does it for episode 75. We'll be back next week with episode 76.
The whiny bitch episode.
Who'd be 75? The Ryan Reeves? We actually never found out.
He gave a fucking hilarious little thing with Scott Oak for an interview, so we'll say Ryan Reeves.
Yeah. He's a Golden Knight, so...
Yeah, exactly. Go Reeves.
Yeah, he also decided to
Fight,
leave...
Reeves, fight.
He also decided to leave Pittsburgh and join the Knights, and they're still in the playoffs, so...
Fight, Reeves, fight. Score, Reeves, score. Win, Reeves, win.
Why?
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
No.
So yeah, we'll see you next week for episode 76. I am Chris Parrish.
I am formerly artist known as Subban, now not in the playoffs, Meniac.
And we are Tag Struggle.
We are real.
And we are
Spectacular.
What?
What?
Later.
When your heart's pounding out of your chest, you can feel the room shaking as you're running out of breath. If you're ready to